We, the stolen generation, kidnapped from happiness. A mum and dad we never knew still lingers in my heart. Why, oh why do you deny us our past?
The Aborigines Protection Board was established in 1883 and operated up until 1969. It had a name change through the beginning of, or the middle period of the board, and changed to the Aborigines Welfare Board. It had absolute power over Aboriginal people in New South Wales, and the impacts are still seen today.
Well, it was during the Second World War. My father was overseas, fighting for freedom. Our mother died, and the Aboriginal Welfare Board just stormed in and grabbed all of us. And I remember him coming down to Bomaderry when the Second World War finished. He's still in his uniform, soldier's uniform. He come down there hoping to take us home. But they wouldn't let him. You know, he just fought in 2 world wars for freedom. But they locked his kids up. Well, that's what they done. When the boys were 10, they sent them to Kinchela. And the girls were 12, they sent them to Cootamundra. I spent about 35 years in prison. And none of that prison was as bad as Kinchela Board. I'll never ever forget about it, you know. But, it's just the government admitting that they've done these things, you know. Because they've always denied it, you know, always denied it.
The photographs were taken by the board, but they were used as propaganda to advertise for domestic servants and forced labour through the board. But now they have a different meaning because people are coming back in to reclaim them and to put them up their wall as family photographs, which is very special to us.
I didn't know that archives had that photo, because we always had that photo displayed on the mantelpiece at home. And I imagine that those images might have been taken by either the wife or one of the people that worked at the mission. Not always that they'd had the luxury or the expense or whatever to have a professional as well as a government photographer come to the mission. It would happen occasionally. But it's really quite sad to think that that's all there is.
Surprisingly enough, out of a family of 8, I'm the only one in our family that has a photographic history, like, you know, of little pictures of my life growing up on them. I think it gives me a little bit of where I came from, and I show different photos to my kids and my grandkids.
Oh, it brings back a lot of memories. There's certain, you know, there's certain things that you remember, you know, and I can remember some of the photos that were taken, and, you know, looking back on them now, you think some of these kids, well, where are they now? It was like one big happy family. I mean, there was times when things were tough and things like that, but we survived. Yeah, I was taken at the age of 2.5. And when you're taken away from your mother, you lose, you know, you lose that thing of being a family person. Even though you're coming into a big family here, you lose that thing of being a family person.
But I call it kidnapping, and should have the government up for kidnapping. That's what it's about. That's the way I look at it. Well, you know, it'll always be the past, no matter whether they say sorry or not, because sorry's just a word.
This exhibition is proof that we did exist, you know. A lot of white Australians still don't believe we've had this happen, you know. And it'd be good if they did come down here and have a look.